One of the hot topics in the jiu-jitsu world these days is obviously the performance-enhancing drug aspect of that. And guys like Nicky Rod, who's just in here, Mikey did the December one, and they're obviously very vocal and they oppose it and they want more testing, and they think this partnership with Fight Pass and the UFC is a good first step. I'm curious where you fall on that.
I agree. I'm 31. I started at 19. I was first introduced to jiu-jitsu. I've never touched anything. I'm not, again, I don't judge anybody that does it. You know, people have different health issues, different upbringings. I think it's definitely a shortcut. You know, juicing is a shortcut. It takes away from, I feel, the journey that you're on. You're going to have to, there's some things you're not going to have to learn or do because you're taking these shortcuts, you know, and it's one of the best things about what we do is the aspect of sacrifice. You know, you're putting sacrifice into it. You know, like people are religious. It preaches sacrifice as well. So I'm not saying you can't do all these things. You can't sacrifice more when you're on juice. But I just feel like it's nice to keep it clean, and you can look good without having to juice. You know, I know some people say, oh, well, these guys will come in, they'll look jacked, they'll look good. Because they're you can do all that while being natural. You know, if you train, you eat right, you sleep right, you treat yourself as a professional. I mean, you can do all these things that juice guys do, you know, and you can actually take advantage of things that they have to pay the price for, like, you know, more muscle, you know, less cardio, slower. Maybe relying on that substance. You don't have to rely on something. It can give you an edge, you know? And for me, over the years, I'm starting to mentally be happier about not being on anything, being natural, and then seeing people in front of me who juice as, you know, people who just took some shortcuts whereas I didn't, you know? So that's my stance.
I just think that using performance-enhancing drugs probably takes away from, you know, the purity of the sport in the sense of like how good your technique is, how athletic you really are, because you can just overpower somebody. And also, like, a lot of these guys can just take steroids and not necessarily work out and build muscle. That's kind of like, I mean, that sounds like cheating, right? So yeah, I would love it if every competition in jiu-jitsu was drug tested vigorously, and I look forward to the day that UFC commits to that.
I mean, for me, it's been a fight of mine, but it's not something that I try to yell out and be like, you know, putting out there over and over again. For me, it sounds more like an excuse. If I'm like, oh, this guy's on steroids, like, you know, who cares if they don't get caught? Then, yeah, I'm just making stuff up, you know. Now, if we start testing, that would be great. At least we'll know for sure, at least close to the event. People got quite good, I feel like, at also passing through tests, unless it becomes as strict as the UFC does. You know, USADA is going to be hitting your door for months before the match at any time. I think that would be very helpful for me, honestly. That would freaking add so much to me. Lately, that's been a big goal of mine, is working out like crazy. I've been doing 5 times a week from Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. First thing I do is go meet my coach at his house, and then we train and we prepare. I'm trying to get stronger, trying to get fitter. That way, if I ever fight anyone, there's definitely steroids. Clearly, again, I'll be better ready, you know, better prepared than I've been in the past. Technically speaking, I don't think there's anybody out there that I'm like, this guy is gonna kill me if I go him. But there is some guys definitely on some good stuff that you're like, Jesus Christ, how's this guy looking like a superhero right now? Yeah, but I'm with these boys. Yeah, I'm all for clean sport.
I see people before and after. I've seen a lot of athletes before and after. I've seen their results. I've seen them do good, you know? So the thought was definitely in my head. There are times where especially after like super fights against guys who are clearly on juice, like, and you can feel the squeeze, you can feel everything. It plays in your head a bit, but you just got to have faith, man. You got to have faith in what you do. You got to have faith in the coaches that you have. You got to have faith in the strength and conditioning coaches that you have, the nutritionists. You know, got to have faith in what you're doing, the sacrifices you're doing. And I think over time, you know, things fall into place. People want results right away. You know, they want to achieve quick results. They want to get onto the podium quickly. But if you enjoy making the sacrifices, you enjoy the journey, the setbacks, the ups and downs, there's no rush, man. I'm not in a rush, and I'm enjoying seeing my career move forward slowly but surely, you know. This is the proof, you know, like co-main event on such a big event, big week. Super happy.
The main thing also with like some the aspect of banned substances is in the jiu-jitsu, the most boring guys would be the one abusing it the most. So it would be like a mix of like bad fights and like a bunch of roided up dudes just like pushing each other around. So I see like these new faces of jiu-jitsu nowadays who we're standing for something, but also delivering entertainment on the mats. So I think that's pretty cool. And when it comes to that, it's about longevity as well. Nowadays we have really young people join the sport. So the more you push that narrative, I think the more toxic it is for the younger generations. And, you know, we're here right now in the spotlight. We want to make sure to leave a good example for them. So I think that's my thought behind that. Yeah.